Thanks for joining me again for another Pixie Talks review vlog.
Pixie Talks, reviews and vlogs at Pixie Talks. Pixie Talks, reviews and vlogs at Pixie Talks.
Woo! Hope you guys have all had a super spooky Halloween. This wraps up October as well as my Hannibal reviews. It's time for the very last one, and according to Rotten Tomatoes, the most hated of the entire series, Hannibal Rising. So this movie is about young Hannibal Lecter. An origin story of sorts for the famous serial killer and cannibal that everybody loves to hate. Just how did Hannibal become the gruesome monster we are all familiar with? The movie opens with Hannibal and his younger sister Misha as children. There's a deeply tragic backstory here that the film explores before we cut to Hannibal, now a little older. He doesn't remember exactly what happened to Misha, but he's determined to find out as he tries to make his way in the world alone. Now, the movie isn't exactly subtle, and it's pretty obvious that the answer to his searched-for memories is cannibalism. It was cannibalism. They ate Misha. Spoiler. And honestly, I wish that the movie had let the audience figure out those clues gradually at the same pace that Hannibal does. The audience ends up being in the know while he isn't, which just makes the narrative feel a little forced. But once we're past the discovery phase, Hannibal goes into full-on revenge mode, and it is pretty awesome to watch. You really can't feel badly for any of these men he's systematically tracking down because the film goes to great lengths to show how horrible they are. These are murderers, rapists, and cannibals, and Hannibal feels just as justified in his vendetta as, say, a certain Count de Monte Cristo. In fact, the entire film is very solidly a revenge film. It's not a horror movie, not even a thriller or a crime drama like some of its predecessors, but a revenge film. And to be honest, a pretty fun one. I'm not really sure why it got such trash ratings, and to be honest, my biggest guess is that people went into it expecting a thriller and got a revenge movie. Hannibal himself is devastatingly scary, and I think Gaspard Ulliel played him brilliantly. He's not quite as refined as the older rendition of the character, but he's suave and self-assured, brilliant, and learning fast. He makes a few missteps, a few mistakes that older Hannibal would never make, but it's fascinating to see how he's developing into the sociopathic killer we know him to be. It's also interesting to note how Hannibal's targets have changed over the years. At first he begins his career as a killer only killing the most horrible of war criminals, and it feels justified. But by the time we get to older Hannibal, he's picking his victims just based on them being rude, and it doesn't feel quite so justified anymore. It's a very interesting look on the corruption of power, and how that sense of moral superiority and vigilante justification is inevitably twisted despite good intentions. All in all, I think I really liked Hannibal Rising, and I'm not really sure why people gave it such bad reviews. It's not a perfect film by any means, and there are definitely some aspects that could have been improved upon. But in general, I thought it was a really solid revenge piece, wonderfully creepy, and a great look at Hannibal's early life. And that's it for my series of Silence of the Lambs reviews for October. I hope you enjoyed this retrospective of a classic series of films. Next month we're going back to regular reviews for a bit before we hit December, so come back for that. And with that, I'll see you then. Bye!